it. Compressor, man, 3.5 hours, do this together, man. It starts with us, it ends with us.
Hey, no cheers! We got.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
Cool.
What's cracking?
You lying, bro.
Yeah, I know. What's cracking?
Go ahead.
How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're here to talk about tonight's game and give our opinion on how things went so far. And I'm Pizzle, and that's Black. And welcome to Bart.
Bart. This is a late night Bart session. So it's like the last Bart. Better jump on and jump off. Don't forget to pay your fare, though. Don't be a fare raider and hit that like button. Hit the like button. So, Pizzle, man, it was football today, bro. How you feeling? I got an idea already, but I want to know what you thinking. What you got to say about the opening game so far?
Well, I felt pretty good about the offense. I think he called some good plays today. The defense was cool. We'll get into that a little later, but yeah, overall it was okay. I mean, I was excited to watch some football, regardless.
Yeah. I think the defense kind of like was lackluster. He was calling my boy out already, but the second half they played a little bit better on third down, but that first half was definitely a lot to be desired. But for me, is to be expected from the defense at this point. It's going to probably take about, I don't know, I probably would say about 5 games, 6 games before we really start seeing this defense kind of click, But I don't know. It's going to be tough. I think that corner position is going to be what's going to be a thing to kind of pay attention to. We need to find that other corner, it looks like already.
Yeah, it looked like they were abusing McCoy over there, but these guys are still rookies. They're young. I know we have a lot of high expectations for these guys, but we got to punt the brakes on it. It's still early in their careers, you know what I mean? It's good to have high expectations, but there's also got to be a reality too.
Yeah, you're not lying about that. One thing I said for sure was coming into this game was like McCoy hasn't played like in like a whole year and some change.
Mm-hmm.
So to even get back into football, it's not like football shape, but just get into the football mode. You know what I mean? Like you know how it's like you gotta get into sicko mode. Like you gotta get used to it. You gotta get used to, and then not only that, you're not coming back to college. You're coming back to the pros. Like you literally saw how the matchup, how they created the matchup with the big wide receiver with the smaller corner. And then he pushed off a little bit like all great wide receivers do, or anyone that's worth their money, they're gonna push off a little bit and then create a little separation, and that's all you need to catch the ball. And it just was bad. But McCoy gave up 2 tutties tonight, and welcome to the NFL, brother. But I'm glad to see him out there, though, to be honest.
Me too. I was glad to see him too, but that's just a reality. That's going to be reality for all these rookies. It ain't just going to happen to him. It's going to happen to all these rookies, and it's going to happen all year long, pretty much.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
For real.
That's part of being a rookie. Just just like being a rookie quarterback, you're going to get blitzed all year long too. It's just the way it is.
Right. So first drive, Kirk Cousins went out there. I think he went 4 for 5 for like 50 yards, threw a touchdown to Michael Mayer. The Mayer looking good. I'm really expecting Mayer to have what they would call a breakout season. I mean, he had 1 touchdown last year, and a lot of his yards came when Bowers wasn't in the game. Bowers wasn't in the game tonight. I don't think I've seen Bowers. I believe not. I don't think so. But Mayer went out there and he looked like he was comfortable, and that was something I was happy to see because for him, a lot of eyes won't be on him, and if we need help from Brock Bowers being bracketed and double teamed all the time, we need Mayer to be that other player that's going to take off some of the pressure. We need Tucker and Naylor to be those, all combined to get some targets so that way that they can't just focus on Brock Bowers. So it was good to see Mayer go out there and look as good as he did in that first drive.
And Tucker looked pretty good on the first drive too.
You know, because we're wondering what that receiver room going to look like. That's kind of like the collective. Let's hold our breath and see what's going on there.
And it's a small sample size. It's one game. I get it.
Mhm.
I I understand, but they got some shine in the dude. There's a lot of rust spots in here.
Yeah.
They got a lot of work to do, especially on that defense. But like I said, they're all young talent, pretty much. And when the 3s and 4s or whatever were in there, it was even worse.
Mhm. Yeah. But I mean, like you said, we'll see how that kind of matures over these next couple preseason games, and then not only that, we have preseason um, scrimmage against Houston on Tuesday, and then we play them on Thursday. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. Were you surprised how Kirk Cousins played this that first drive? He just went in there and the first pass got knocked down, and then after that he was on cracking. So I mean, everything looked very fluid. He looked comfortable. What do
Yeah,
you?
I think it's going to take probably, to be honest, probably 7 weeks for everything to gel together. So right now until probably the end of the first 4 weeks of the season, it's going to be really rough season for us to settle in there. And as far as Kirk Cousins goes, yeah, I actually expected him to come out and play pretty decent. Like I said, a lot of people underestimate him, but it's yeah, like I said, last year he won 4 in a row before he cut out. So we
Right.
haven't won 4 in a row and nothing in a long time. So like I said, I'm happy to see that he played as well as he did too. Even though and they were against their number one defense too. So it wasn't like he was playing against the number 2s and he was playing slouches. So he went out there and lit it
Sure.
up, did a pretty good job, and he knows the offense, and it shows. Who's ready to play and who ain't.
Yeah. He definitely looked like he was comfortable in that, and this is a weird dynamic, this Kirk Cousin thing, man. Like the crowd is so pro Mendoza, which I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
No, me neither.
They're just so pro Mendoza that it just looked like they're just waiting for Kirk Cousins to just not perform. Like, even when he went out there and did what he did, it wasn't the excitement as it was when Fernando scored his touchdown. And it doesn't have to be the same, but I mean, like we need to really get behind this quarterback because really this team is going to go as far as Kirk Cousins take us because it looks like you said, it looks like this offense is going to carry this defense for a while.
Yeah, the offense definitely carried us a little bit today for a while,
Yeah,
and then the offense could only do so much, right? And then the defense when the defense gives up 28 points or whatever they gave up, 27, whatever they ended up giving up, I'm not sure.
yeah,
Um, they it's hard for the offense that isn't really doing too well to put up to 28 or 31, 35 points. But like I said, we didn't really stop the run. We had a hard time stopping the run tonight. Except when our number ones were in there, we did a pretty good job. They didn't look the best either, but they did the 2s and 3s definitely didn't want to stop the run tonight. They just, I don't know, it was crazy. They just got ran all over.
liked I liked Kubiak's play calling.
Oh yeah,
Definitely was refreshing to see that kind of play calling, where even if you knew that they were gonna play action or run a pass in this situation, it was receivers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, well, they're trying to scheme one wide receiver to get open like we saw from Chip Kelly. Uh, we actually saw receivers out in their routes. And then you got to see the quarterbacks go through their progressions, Fernando included, which people say Fernando don't do is go through progressions. He
hmm
definitely went through his progressions. He didn't have happy feet. He looked very calm in the pocket. He threw the ball strong and decisive. I liked what I saw from Fernando as well. But that Clint Kubiak play calling was a breath of fresh air to me.
I agree 100%. Like I said, he was set it all up. He kept setting it up, setting it up. That's how that's how he runs his offense. It's a progressive. He turns the pressure up as it goes on. After every successful play, he gets more and more confident, and he just keeps turning up the pressure, turning up the pressure.
Yeah. All right. So we saw Malik Benson out there. Malik Benson was looking cool. But let's talk about Jack Bus. Everybody, see, this is the player that I've been trying. You know what? Y'all need to make sure y'all subscribe to our channel because the things that we say, was we've been saying since like April 3rd, is gonna start becoming like turning to fruition. I can just see it coming. I can just see it. Like even
It's
when they was talking about Jack Bech might not make the team, Dante Thornton might not make the team. And I'm like, I don't see a world where that happens. And even with Dante Thornton being injured, I still see him making the team. But let's not even talk about him because he didn't play. So we're not going to talk about players that didn't play. But let's talk about Jack Bech, Jay Bech. I've been pro him because I've been hearing everything about this separation. He can't get no separation. And I'm like, what do you guys mean by that? Do you mean like he can't get open to get passes or he can't blow by a defender or what do we expect from him? Because the way he is, he's gonna body you off with he's gonna box you out and he's gonna get the ball if you throw the ball in the position where you should as a quarterback. And he's gonna catch the ball. He doesn't drop it often. He got strong hands. And tonight he did his big one, got 2 catches, one of them in a touchdown, and one was on a third down. So now it's going to be third and Bech.
Yep.
So were you surprised about Bech, bro?
No, not at all. He did this last year on third downs. He was getting it. He was getting it all last year. He was getting it. And, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, he's not the kind of wide receiver that's going to open up over the top. That's what you got Naylor and Tucker and other
Supposed to be Dante Thornton, huh?
and Thornton. That's why you got these guys out there. He's more of a possession guy and under the defense.
Even Malik
They run
Benson.
him off and then he comes underneath. He's basically like a third wide receiver kind of / tight end type guy.
Yeah, well, he's going to play where the tight end really roams at. Because we got to be careful about using that word tight end because everybody was trying to make him a tight end. But he does roam around where the tight ends are in the middle of the field,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like within 15, 12 to 12 yards, within 12 yards of the line of scrimmage, no more than 15.
Yep.
Uh, and he just go in there and do the dirty work, the work that nobody like doing, you know? And it was good for him because that throw from Mendoza threw that ball before he even broke. Like before he even broke to go to the end zone, like Mendoza just knew where to throw the ball. And when you're in that red zone, you want to throw the ball either low or high. You know what I'm saying? And if you throw it high, you better make sure if he don't get it, nobody get it. Where if he tip it, it don't tip into another defender. But if you want to throw it, you want to throw it low so the guy can get down and catch the ball. And that's essentially what happened with Bech and Mendoza looked very good on that. I'm excited that we really did well in the red zone. point of emphasis for us.
I agree 100%. I'm glad that we got 2 tutties and not 2 field goals. Because last year we would have got 2 field goals.
Yeah, you ain't lying. If we would even got down there.
Yeah, I agree to that too. But I'm just saying, like, we've had a horrible time. Like, that's the one thing I will give us an A plus in is the red zone. We look good in the red zone. A combination of running and throwing. We did exactly pretty much what we wanted to do, which is score touchies, which is what we need to be doing when you get down there. Don't want to be kicking a field goal. That don't win you games.
No, it don't. It just keep you in games.
Yep.
That's what field goals do. They keep you in games. But you said like that run game. Let's talk about bad intentions. I call it bad intentions. M-Dub, Mike Washington Jr.
Yeah.
He broke that 50-yarder.
Good.
53 to be exact. And that was good to see that in the first game from him because he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to him on social media, but he is not happy because all these teams that passed him up. And he's like, you know what? I got to show these teams why they shouldn't have passed me up. And the Raiders essentially he caught passes and he got carries. Mind you, he did run in the middle of the field, which a lot of people try to say he can't. And I'm pretty sure that tune is going to be changing pretty soon.
Yeah, he busted that 53-yarder on that up the middle. Half pack wiggle or whatever it was. It's crazy.
Yeah, he showed a lot of patience there. He definitely showed a lot of patience, and then he showed that burst of speed within those first couple steps. That's why I said he's bad intentions. He runs violent. Like them first couple steps, they matter. You know, it's like posse rear. He out of there. You know, and then he has the ability to shake off tacklers. So I'm very excited about him too, and to see him and Genty uh, have a good tandem in that backfield.
Yeah, like I said, I think one's going to feed off the other, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm sure Genty's gonna want to go out there next week and want to try and rip off a 50-yarder because he's seen Washington do it this week. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of a friendly competition in the room, which is a good thing, right? It's a kind of like you ever play like a horse or anything like that? That's what it's going to kind of be like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And I think that's what Coach Kubiak means by he wants the backup to push the starter.
Yeah.
Like that's how you push the starter. Like even if let's say if Genty isn't going to play next week, which I'm not sure. I'm thinking they're going to probably play. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You don't think so at all? You don't think they're going to get any reps? Maybe like the third game, maybe.
Maybe the third game.
Okay,
Why would you risk it? There's no reason to risk him or Bowers or any of that, really.
I
There's,
agree.
there's really no reason. He knows how to handle the ball and hit the hole, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So maybe that third game, but
Yeah,
if
it's him. I believe it'll be maybe. Yeah, I think it'll probably be the third game.
like you said, I'm sure he's gonna want to go out there and like, hold up. Especially if Washington go out there and rip another one for like 30, or don't let him bop one for like 60,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. And then he gonna be like, oh man, I gotta play next week, coach. I'm sorry. And I need to play the first half. And they gonna pull him out after about 2 drives, and he gonna have a little attitude, but still it's gonna be that fire inside that makes it like, okay, cool. Those two guys are pushing each other because that's what we want to see. We want to see the backup push the starter. So
Mm-hmm.
Mike Washington Jr. definitely did his job this week, and I'm glad to see that. And I'm glad to see he ran up the middle because people were saying he couldn't. We literally did a whole video, like a video showing nothing but inside runs, and I'm like, I see that he can, and I see that he's patient. But a lot of people gonna change their tune after that one.
So as for me, as of right now, Jack Bech is the number one wide receiver.
Mm, interesting. So that's interesting that you say that. So why you say that? Let's talk about that. Why you say that?
Well, because the way that Cousins was, targeting him in important situations. You know what I mean? And not
Right.
just him, but Mendoza too. Like when he wanted to get that tutty, he had that focus that he knew exactly where he was going to go, and I'm sure that he had that timing down with Bech pretty well too. It's not like I said. It looks like they've been working together um, a lot, which is a good thing. So we just have to wait and see. But as far as I see, it's more like the targeting that's going on. Like just the number one wide receiver doesn't necessarily mean the guys on the outside. It's the favorite for the quarterback to go to when he needs to play. And that's what I think the number one wideout is. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I totally agree with you on that, and that's what I was gonna say. Like that's kind of how we describe the number one wide receiver, the one that the quarterback has a lot of confidence in. Like can throw the ball to in certain situations, and you can have confidence in throwing him the ball and he catching it. I heard it from Kirk Cousins tonight in the presser tonight. He was talking about Bech and how he has confidence in him, and if he throw him the ball where he needs it, he not worried about he's gonna box him out like a power forward. So they already kind of know his skill set. And so for you to say that he's going to be like a wide receiver one is not far fetched to feel that way because he was a second round pick, right? We don't have a number one in the room as everybody say. I mean, I think Tucker is the number one right now, but I think Bech is could be someone that can grow into that position, you know. And if he did, it wouldn't be too far fetched for us to expect that because he was a second round pick. So yeah, so I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, I know it's kind of premature. It's a preseason game, but from what we seen last year and how they used him and how Clint Kubiak has the confidence because those plays was called for him, like especially that touchdown play that was called for him, and so um, coaches he knows who to dial up at what time it looks like, and he's going to get better at it. So I'm with you on that. I'm like two ice cubes with you on there. D Menace, what's good with you, brother? What's good
What
with you,
up,
D
T
Menace?
Menace?
So I'm probably like I want to say one ice cube, but I'm gonna say two because we haven't seen enough of what Tucker and Naylor are gonna do. I haven't seen enough of what Naylor's gonna do, but hey, if Tucker and Naylor are gonna play better than how Bech is playing, then yeah, we might have something cooking.
Yeah, I think we got something cooking on the offense. I'm just hoping the defense can do what they need to do at this point.
Yeah. So the
Not
one
very
thing
high. I'm not very high on Coach Rob right now.
well, I'm not blaming him so much, but at the end of the day, it is his defense that was like out there giving it up. So I just think it's the corners. I think that we got to find those corners because those big receivers are going to push our corners around.
And box them out.
So
Yeah.
and box them out, yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be something that we'll work on, and 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 hopefully that we can get some answers to it. Maybe McCoy could, after a couple games, get back in the zone, and plus anyway, we'll have. And I hate to not hate to say it, but I'm starting to see a little bit of light where that won't happen to Porter so much. Like you might can route Porter if you running down the field, but those little fade routes and all that other stuff, you're not gonna be able to push him off as easy, you know.
Right.
But a push off, all it takes is a little bit because that's all you need is that space to catch the ball. So I'm with you on this one. My eyes are still on Coach Robbie, but my leash is a lot longer than yours. You got a choke chain on your leash, so my leash is a little bit longer than yours on him. So, but One thing I did not like though is the penalties. Oh my gosh, all the penalties that we were having. We had like 5 penalties in a quarter and a half, and then we had a quick 6 1 with Meredith. Like, I, what Meredith? I,
And what's he
I'm
doing
not
with?
like I don't like Meredith at center, man.
No,
I
I don't
don't.
know what they're doing with that idea.
Where else they gonna stick him though? I mean, like we don't have any backup center. I mean, we can't really take reps to put JPJ there to practice and all that. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but Meredith. mm, So here we go. So here he said only preseason, but you guys, the thoughts on the O line so far. What's your thoughts on the O line?
Well, they look pretty good. JPJ, I think he got a little penalty, I think, but he looked all right. I mean, they looked pretty cohesive from what I've seen. They looked good on the first drive from what we've seen. So, and it's still early to see. We didn't really get to see too much of them. We got to see one drive. So, but from what I've seen, a hell of a lot better than last year.
Right. Because the quarterbacks were able to go through their progressions.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
got
I know.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, they had time to go through their progressions. They did give up a couple sacks, and I think Fernando took a sack that
He
that
didn't need
they
to.
did not want to take, huh?
Yeah, he didn't need to take that one. I agree.
Yeah, he didn't need to take it, but he did make up on it. He did make up with it because we did score on that drive. And see, that's the one thing I do like about Mendoza. This is the one thing I like about any quarterback. And if you got this trait as a quarterback, then you got something going for yourself. Is when a negative play happened, your ability to have a short memory and then come back and make that next play. You know what I'm saying? Not worry about, okay, I messed up here. Now it's 2nd and 15. Now you trying to do too much and throw a pick, or
Yeah.
you get sacked again because you're inside your own head. You go out there and execute the next play and give yourself a better position to get a first down. Uh, or a touchdown in that case. So I really like that. That's in his DNA. That's in Mendoza's DNA. We heard that about Camp. He starts off slow, he ends up strong. I'm with that because I hate for a quarterback to start off strong and then just get weaker as the game go on, and then you rely on the defense to keep you in the game, and then you try to muster up something at the end. But our O line, I'm liking what I see so far because of the time that that they're giving our quarterbacks. I'm happy to see that our quarterbacks don't have the happy feet and they're just sticking in there and letting it rip. So I'm liking the O line so far. Great question, Jimenez.
Yeah.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
So, but we just need to do to clear up them penalties, though. JBJ out there tripping, folks. He out there tripping.
Yeah, he's out there tripping, all right. He's gonna see the guy next fall.
Right. And so at the halftime when they asked Clint Kubiak, what was going on, and he was like, the offense school need to do better at defense. You could tell he was pissed about that defense. Like you could tell that he took this preseason game serious.
Yeah, of
Like
course you do.
I mean, but now a lot of people don't take preseason games serious like that.
That's why they're losers, bro.
He he took this preseason game serious because he was cognitive of the score. He wanted us to get more possessions because even in the second half, once we made that stop on third down and they missed the field goal and we was 2 possessions behind and we was trying to score and AOC came in and did what AOC does. You know what I mean? And then, but we'll get to that shortly. But I'm just saying that Clint Kubiak really took this game serious, and I like that because, like you just said, that's what winners do. They take it serious, they take it personal, and losers don't so much.
Yeah, well, he's been working hard this whole off season. He wanted them to show up and show out, and they showed up and shit out.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure he thought the defense was going to be better off and play better than what it was playing. I mean, I understand this. the first game. But you
Mhm.
basically let them go 10 plays or 11 plays on you and score a touchy.
Yeah, I think they went. They didn't drop a ball until
Until
like
the third quarter.
like the third quarter, right? I think they were like 16. No, it was more than 16 because the first team they did have like, well, I think they went 16 for 16 in pass plays, right? Before they dropped the ball or it was an incompletion or whatever. And I'm like, Robbie, you might need to call a something because even if you ain't supposed to blitz like that, maybe you should blitz because I don't know what was going on with. Because then it almost looked like you playing soft coverage almost because these receivers kept running underneath and catching the ball. You know,
They were.
and I think that's because we don't want to give up nothing deep. That team's gonna take them little intermediate routes, but you can't give up them intermediate routes because the little 5 yards catches turn into them little 7 yard catches. They turn into like 20 yard or
15,
15 yard
yeah,
catches.
15,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
yeah. So
that's the
you can't.
thing, right? That's that cover 1 and cover 3 that we've been watching Patrick Graham run for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
that
why
was
that's why I wasn't even excited about him being graduated up.
no, that was Pete Carroll
Oh,
running that cover 1, cover 3 last year.
yeah, well,
That
it
did
don't
so
matter.
bad because the other 2 years we were ranked in the we was ranked 15th in the defense. Well, I guess last year a little bit too. So, but yeah, but that soft coverage, like as what you're saying, basically, right? Giving up a lot of
Yeah,
catches.
you give up the whole thing until they get to the 10 or 15-yard line, and then they'll play zone right there and try and because you can't beat them deep, so everything's right there in front of them. So yeah, we'll give up a bunch of yards, but you won't score any touches. It's hard for you to score touchies. Yeah, but it's hard for you to score a touchy if you go 3 and out.
Yeah, really though, that's the best.
If that cover 1 and cover 3 might work if you got a defensive line that's getting home fast.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
but if it ain't
yes,
getting home fast, that shit ain't working.
yeah.
So
Because you're gonna find the gaps in the cover 3 and in cover 1.
yeah, and that's what they're doing
Hmm.
because the
You're
defensive
right.
line ain't getting home fast enough, and they're like, oh, all right, well here we go, whoop 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 whoop.
Let's talk about AOC, man. He ended up coming in, and
Uh,
did you see a lot of? Did you see a lot of them? Because the second half was kind of like really garbage time.
no, I didn't really watch too much. I just watched the little highlights. I didn't watch the second half at all. But I
Yeah.
watched the little
So
highlights of AOC going in there. He looked,
so so here's the thing about AOC, man. I was hoping. Well, it wasn't imperative, but here's AOC, right? AOC comes into the game. Of course, he's gonna come in and throw some nice passes, right? AOC gonna throw some nice passes, and Rich Gannon said something that kind of blew my mind. Rich Gannon was like, "Man, a couple years ago, they made a mistake by starting Gardner Minshew over AOC," and
I
I
heard
was
that
like, "Wait a
nonsense.
minute." I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, what?" And I was like, you know what, Rich? I usually like lean on what you say a little bit, not all the time, but maybe like about 80, 90% of the time, right? And then when he said that, I was like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. So maybe I'm just tripping. I'm like, well, maybe I'm just tripping, right? Then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, oh, heck no, nah, y'all ain't about to run this gaslight on me. He gassing
No.
AOC up right now, talking
Yeah.
about they made a mistake, right? And
Yeah.
so and so then the next possession he said something. Oh, I can't remember, man. I
He
need to
said he was
find it.
going to start him. He was going to start him over Minshew until he had a horrible horrible
Whole
interception.
series, right? And then he
That
said
horrible
something
pick
else.
six interception.
Oh
And
yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what he said. Then he explained why he ended up being behind him. And I was like, so basically, you're gassing AOC up right now. Y'all in cahoots. I get it, and it's cool. But now I see it for sure. Y'all trying to sell AOC like, yeah, you might not can afford this Benz, but we do got this nice Maserati right here. They got new tires on it and a new paint job. Look at it, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then AOC went out there. He threw some not so accurate passes. He was moving a little bit. And then he ended up getting sacked because he couldn't get away. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, this is against the backups to the backups at this point now. So it ain't
Yeah.
like the ones out there and the twos out there. Like you out there with the backups to the backups now. And I'm like, bro, you supposed to be lighting them up. You supposed to look like Kirk Cousins. You supposed to look like Fernando. If in fact that if you're as good as people are saying you are. Now, I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying he is our third string quarterback, like for real, for real. Like for real.
Yeah. I had to agree 100%. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is what it is at this point. Poor guy.
Yeah. All eyes on G. What's up with you, brother? I'm glad you're doing you back, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you.
Yeah, what up, dude,
Thanks
man? It's
for
all eyes.
pulling up, man. Thanks
Thank
for
y'all.
pulling up.
Yeah, thanks for getting on the BART, taking
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
ride with us through the nation.
Yeah, through the nation. So that was hecka funny though that AOC was out there looking cool, but then we see why AOC is AOC. And like I said, I'm not really trying to I'm not trying to like dogpile on AOC, but it's evident. Like it's clear to me. Like people say, well, we need to see what we got out of AOC. And I'm like, I see it already.
The
I
moment's too
already
big.
see it.
Yeah, the moment's too big for him.
I don't even know if the moment too big. I just don't think he can get away.
That too, but I
And
think the moment's just too big for him, dude, because you can see how he starts getting inaccurate passes. He gets fleshy. He's
yeah,
just got happy feet. And
yeah,
you're the only one with happy feet. Well, I understand he's in there with the not the best O line either, but come on, man, you need to.
yeah. But our O line depth is there though. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
need to go look at the video. So I don't think it was the O line like that. Like
No, but
the thing about AOC is he can't get away, so he will stand in there because he got the height and he will throw the ball. And sometimes the pressure will have you throw the ball inaccurately because that pressure is really coming. Because I seen him take a hit that was crazy. I was like, oh yeah, he stood in there and took that one. Like there's no, you have to stand in there and take those. There is no throw it in, move to the side, and no that. You gotta stand if you're gonna stand in the pocket, you're gonna have to take that hit that comes with it. There's no way around it. Like, and he takes those hits, and so then consequently, when you see that pressure coming again, it's in your head, and so what happened is you'll rush to throw,
yeah,
you know,
flinch.
and flinch, right? So AOC, AOC, AOC. I just don't want to hear no more about AOC for the rest of this camp, y'all. Please don't do this. Is don't y'all have a hard enough time buying in on Kirk Cousins, which is gonna win us hella games. But please let's not do the AOC thing. Let's not do the AOC thing. Let's not do the Jack Bus thing. Um, let's not do the Mendoza over Cousins thing. Like, let's not do that. Like, I'm just saying that for me. I'm on Pizzle's show saying that, so I'm just saying, don't let's not do that. So Rich Gannon, shout out to you for trying to gaslight everybody because you trying to sell, you a used car salesman trying to sell AOC. And I ain't mad at you because he came out and jumped out the window. Was like they made a big mistake when they started Gardner Minshew over him. I was like, what?
Yeah,
It was that big of a mistake?
I think he's delusional with that. Obviously, we've seen how Gardner Minshew played today and how AOC played, right?
Right. Right, Gardner Minshew didn't miss that many passes either. I think he was part of that 16 for 16 in a row, right?
Yeah,
So, so
yeah, he just
he
wanted
low
to.
key, he low key was trying to stick it to us too, though, for real.
Yeah, of course he was.
And he came off an injury. He didn't he tear like his ACL or MCL or one of them CLs last
Maybe
year
it's
with
maybe it's Achilles or something. I don't know.
oh yeah, it might have been whatever it was a major injury for him to be what 32 or whatever he is.
Yep.
So he went out there and played cool. And not only that, he needed to play cool because Carson Beck played well, and Beck is behind Minshew, who's behind Jacoby Brissett. You know,
Mhm.
so he had something to prove too as well.
Yeah, I think
Oh man,
they're going to be a little bit more harder than I think than we think they were going to be because they had a pretty good game plan today.
Arizona?
Yeah, AZ.
Yeah, they're gonna be better than people give them credit for because this is the second week in a row that I get it. It don't always equate to wins in the regular season, but they don't look incompetent.
No, no, it's about momentum too. But I
Yeah,
remember plenty of years where we went 4-0 in preseason and shit the bed in regular season. So
yeah, yeah.
I go with that right there. I mean, it's just really to show off what your talent is and see what your young talent can do against other young talent and get them reps and figure out what you need and figure out where you can put your players at. And then the third game, which was going to be kind of funny, is going to be all these threes and fours or
Mhm.
whatever and twos because they're going to be because they're going to want to showcase their talent. So maybe they get a chance to go somewhere else, some other team in the league.
Yeah, just yeah, AOC. But oh, that's what it was too. Rich Gaslighter. Was talking about so maybe a team will at the trade deadline to get AOC or maybe even before camp. He even said that. I heard him say it. Like I'm gonna go play that. I'm gonna go listen to it back to make sure I heard exactly what I heard. But he did like mention like this is a nice car, one of my favorites. It is for sale. You want to buy it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how that played out. So I was like, what? Okay, cool. You had me thinking I was tripping about this Gardner Minshew thing. So Gardner Minshew Pichu, Bronson Pichu, Minshew Pichu gave it to the Raiders tonight because he was out there trying to do his big one. So AOC, I'm gonna need you to get it together. Yeah.
He didn't try, he did.
And they brought the Tokyo Toe out there.
Did he
Oh
choke?
man. Yeah, man. So here's the thing. We needed points. We needed points. So we needed a field goal. And we put it wasn't even a long field goal. I think it was only like about like a 40 yarder or something like that. I need to
Oh,
look it up. But I could just feel the energy when he walked out there. I just like, oh my gosh, he probably hella nervous.
oh
He
yeah.
probably hella nervous. I didn't say he was gonna miss it in my mind, but I wasn't gonna be shocked if he missed it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, the energy just didn't feel right. I was like, Clint put him on the spot right here because we could have went for it on fourth down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, nah, let's see if we can hit this field goal right now in this situation.
All
And
right.
they
Let's
put
see if
him
the
out
kid. Yeah, let's see if the kid can handle the moment.
to see if the kid can handle the moment. Exactly. And so then he kicked it and he missed it. And it was one of them things like sometimes when a kicker missed the ball, missed the field goal, the team will still kind of like, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. It wasn't a bunch of that with him. It was a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of that, but it wasn't a bunch of that. Like the team kind of like I think this kicking situation is gonna be an issue for us. I just do. I think it is. I don't know how much better Matt A with the G being silent gonna be. I don't, but I think he'll be more solid than the Tokyo Toe. But at the same time, I mean, like how much more? Like how much more? Like you might can hit the 45 yarder, but we need you to hit the 55 yarder, just like you can hit the 45 yarder.
Yeah, exactly. We got to go out there and find somebody right now on the market. Jack, time's running out. It ain't running in. We got about a month before this shit kicks off, and we ain't got a field goal kicker, man. That's gonna be pitiful. Imagine going out there and then losing on a field goal kick like the Bills. Wide right.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those situations we're gonna be bringing somebody in the middle of the year, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so the field goal was only a 38 yarder.
Oh, that's even worse. He said he could kick a 50. He can't even kick a 38er.
It was the nerves, bro. I think it was the nerves.
Yeah, might have
38
been.
yarder.
Yeah,
But you gotta hit that though. I don't care.
I agree. 38 yarder, that's barely a point after.
Yeah, you gotta hit that, bro.
I'm
That's not
thinking
good.
point after is 35.
You mean you legit can't miss any more field goals this whole training camp. I mean, like, especially not in no game. Like you legit can't miss no more field goals in camp. Like maybe one more in practice, and it better be from like 54 on. But anything else, bro, it's not looking good. Did that one kick because the way Kubiak set that up, like you said, it was the moment to see if he can handle the moment. And he put him in a position to succeed because it was only a 38 yarder.
Yep.
So
Go out
I
there and
don't
kick an
know.
extra point.
Yeah, you're right. It's like kicking an extra point.
Go out there and kick me an extra point, yo.
Dang. Yeah. That was a bizarre. You talking about a heartbreak moment in this game? That was it for me. I was like, oh, the Tokyo he just lost his job right there, like
He
on a
lost his
38-yard field goal.
confidence.
I hope not. We'll see in this next kick because he might come out with an attitude and turn into Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that's what happens, but I'm like, bro, if you can't hit this 38 yarder right, like it's gonna be hard for you to make this team, bro. As the number one kicker, like you should have nerves. I could see if it was a 45 yarder, then maybe you could have a little nerves, but 38, like you said, that's like a extra point, bro. It's like
Yeah.
going out there breaking a free throw.
Well, Shaq used to do that all day.
Yeah, he did.
Hit the back of the rim and shit. Tink, tink, tink. Or the front of the rim.
Except for when he needed to, he did hit him when he needed to in the
You
like
know, or
playoff,
throw it in the box. All he had to do is throw it in the middle of the box.
which you want him to bank it in every time.
Yep.
Plus his hands is probably too big
That's what was. That was the problem. He couldn't get no arc on the ball with his arm length.
and he's too tall.
Yeah. Plus,
So 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 my low light was the Tokyo toe, like missing that 38 yarder. Now my highlight, of course, would be the Mike Washington run. I don't know, maybe the best touchdown. I don't know, maybe just how the quarterback was getting down. But what I did like, what I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, nobody is talking about this guy. I'm the only one talking about this guy at this point. All right. They ain't been talking about him in the offseason. They ain't talking about him now. Dalton. Dalton Johnson. I'm telling y'all right now, the moment I heard him say during this interview that he'll do anything, play special teams. This is before he even went into camp and Kubiak was talking about some special teams and all that. He was like, I'll do whatever it takes to get on the field and help my team so I can, whether that's special teams. And he could have came in trying to steal a starting position. That boy came in, made a special teams tackle early in the game. Then he had some coverage. He had some tight, sticky coverage in the secondary. Do not sleep on Dalton Johnson. I'm trying to tell y'all. I know everybody infatuated with Stooks, trading Stooks. He had his hands full tonight, but Dalton Johnson, I'm trying to tell y'all, he gonna be a surprise. Like I said, that's another stealer in our draft. I think we stole the whole draft, but he's definitely a steal that we got in the draft.
Yep, I have to agree with you on that.
So Tuesday. So I guess they'll have. Well, I guess tomorrow is Friday, so we'll probably have some film tomorrow. The team will have film,
Oh yeah, oh
little
yeah.
practice, little practice. Probably like tough practice on Saturday and Sunday. Probably have Monday. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it, and then maybe like practice on Tuesday. I don't know. But what are you looking forward? What do you think we need to work on going into next week's um, practice game, or what they call that when you have
Game
team
plan.
practice? Like when you play the team like in a week, we have to practice. Forgot what we call that when you have the team come and practice with you.
Yeah, that's a co-op. That's a co. That's like a co-team. Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, so going into the Houston practice, what do you?
Well, I think.
Because go
Well,
ahead.
I think right now Kubiak's already going over the film right now. I think he's already going over. I don't even think he went home yet. I think he's still over there, going over the film, taking a look at what went wrong, what he needs to work on, what he needs to break down tomorrow. Or whatever. He might give them tomorrow off. I doubt it. They didn't really earn it. So they're going to have to come in there and they're going to have to come in and do some more work because that's what you do. Till you get it right, you got to do more work. So,
Yeah.
he seems to be a perfectionist. He's a stickler. And,
Yeah.
that's what it takes to win in this league. And I don't know if all these guys are really up for all the work that they think that they're up for because it's a lot of work. So they better, when he says you better come ready to work, he ain't BSing.
That's why I say I don't think he can stand losing 10 games in the season. I don't think he got that in him.
No,
I just don't think he got that in him. I just don't. So that's
I
why I'm starting to think that we gotta win. We can't lose more than 9 games. So that would have to put us at 8 and 9. I'm trying to dang near make that our floor. And that's pushing it though. I think that's pushing it, especially if this defense going to take a while to get together. Now, granted, there was no Max Crosby out there. Granted, Stokes wasn't out there, and maybe we didn't see more of our regular defense. So I'm going to give a little bit of grace for that. But if our offense is already, I'm just saying, if our offense ends up being like 2 notches ahead of our defense already, or 3 notches, then the defense going to have to catch up fast because our offense ain't going to do nothing but get better.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, but the defense at some point is going to have to start holding its own weight. It's going to have to start getting turnovers. I could tell, we needed a turnover in that second half and we didn't get one.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Thought we were going to try and scheme this thing up. I understand it's preseason, this, that, and the other, but you still got to be able to do something. Like literally, they just felt like they could do whatever they wanted at any time they wanted. They could run the
Yeah.
ball anytime they want. They could throw the ball anytime they want. We weren't.
Yeah, basically.
They were
And
stopped. If they got to stop, they stopped themselves. We didn't stop them.
because once they scored 14 points, and then we were like, okay, we need to score here. That's a lot of pressure. Then we did score there. Then that's the time for the defense to reward the offense for keeping up, because you just gave up 14 points, and it's already what, the first quarter, first
Yeah.
quarter and a half, giving up 14 points already. Like, you shouldn't even give up no more than 24 points. It used to be 21, but now it's like 24 points. Like, you already gave up 14 points already. So Now there's got to be a track meet. We got to score 30 to win. That's what we're
Yeah.
not trying to do. We're trying to be able to score around 28 to 30 points, like 32 or 35 or 36, and that's asking a whole lot for a team to score. Like it is, especially week in and week out. Will we have the ability to score 28 points every week? I think so, but that don't mean the teams are going to allow it.
Yeah, the other team gets paid money too to play. You know what I mean?
For real.
You
You
know,
ain't lying
that's
about that.
you know, it's not. I don't know. It's just gonna be this defense has got to be able to get these turnovers. And luckily we didn't have any turnovers tonight, so we did good in that department too. But I would have liked to see maybe but bring a corner blitz or a delayed linebacker blitz or something to put some heat on them and try and force them into making a bad throw so we can get a turnover.
Yeah. We'll probably see that more of that during the season.
Well, we
We'll
better
probably
see
see that more.
something, because if we
Our
don't see
defense was,
something, it's gonna be a long year.
yeah. Gritty Vance, shout out to Gritty Vance out there. I saw your boy. Gritty Vance was out there playing. I seen your boy.
Yeah,
Like I like how he played. He played solid. We did miss some tackles. We were getting out, but they was out there hurdling. Like I've seen like 3 players get hurdled. Like, man, you gotta see what you tackling. Don't just throw your body at it. You gotta see what we're tackling. But yeah, we gotta shore up that tackling and we gotta be able to stop the run. So I'm with you on that. But overall, cool. We did not win the game. A lot of people are saying we're not tripping off the record. I mean the score, which you shouldn't so much. Um, just take the highlights of what they are and then work on what we need to work on.
absolutely. The highlights are is the number one offense was able to move down the field and score a touchy on the number one defense. So on the sad part is they were able to move the ball on our defense as easy as we were able to move it on theirs.
Yeah, maybe that's because Max wasn't on the field. And so, but before we get to the last stop of the bar, so why do you think they did sit out Max?
I think it's not that I don't think it's that big of a deal right now to get him out there. They're in no rush. Same reason why Bowers wasn't out there. You know what I mean? There's no need to put him out there right now. There's no reason to risk him getting injured getting rolled up or something stupid happening right now. He knows how to rush the quarterback. That's not anything that he's got to learn how to do. He can pretty much do that all day.
Yeah, I think you set me straight on that because I was like, maybe that was coach's way of like punishing Max for the fight, because it was like, okay, cool. Both you guys got into a fight, so I do have to suspend both of y'all to kind of send a message to the team. But I want to send Max a message by sitting him. But like you said, they sat Bowers out. Um,
But
so I think
Bowers, I don't think trusts though, did he?
no, I seen him wear a uniform, but I didn't see him wear no pads though. He wasn't wearing no pad.
Yeah, Max looked like he was wearing pads.
So Max was playing wearing pads, right? He
Yeah,
was
that's
wearing
what I
pads
thought.
in the first half, and then the second half, he didn't have no pads on, like because he knew at that point he wasn't gonna go in. I don't know, maybe it was a game time decision, but so now see now that you say that, what's up with we the people? So now that you say that, I'm like, maybe it was like a sort of a punishment, a little bit, kind of, sort of.
Could
What you
have
think?
been, but like I said, there's. I think it has to do more with maybe not um wanting to let that knee rest a few more weeks.
Yeah,
What's the worst that's going to happen letting it rest an extra month?
yeah. I don't. I kind of agree with you on that. I kind of agree with you on that.
Because look, if we, I know he's all upset about getting pulled a couple of games last year early. Okay, I understand that's not how he wants to roll.
It should be over that though.
Yeah, but look at how much further behind he would be right now.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. You should be thankful. I know that you didn't think it was in your best interest, or you didn't want to do that, or whatever. I get it, but at the end of the day, it was a better choice for you. We didn't do it because we wanted to spite your face, or cut back your stats or anything. We did it for your health, to make sure that you could come back this year and be productive instead of being out of a month or 2 months into the season. So
Yeah, that's a real excellent point because, like you said, we didn't pull him back then, and we would be like waiting to see what kind of max we would get at the end of training camp, and then we would have had to wait a couple weeks into the regular seasons to even get an idea of what we have. Right now, it seems like we have a primed Max Crosby ready to go, and now we just need to make sure just get him a little rest, maybe get him a couple reps, but not a whole lot. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with how they're treating the situation. They're treating the situation smart. It was mental reps. I seen mental reps tonight. Mental
yeah,
reps
I
made a
seen them.
play.
Yeah, I seen them.
And
Yeah, I
Kieran
seen
Crawford went out there. He was making some moves. I seen that. Um, Traden Stukes was having he was having a moment out there. I mean, he tackled well, but he has a lot on his plate. So I'll definitely give him the most grace. So I'm just hopefully that he can catch on and then start let it all come, full circle for him. But overall, I'm happy what was going on. Overall, I'm happy to see Kirk Cousins play well. And like I said, the only thing that could stop him is himself at this point. And even Coach Kubiak said it's his job to lose because they tried to low key ask him, is it his starting job? I know you said he was starting the preseason. I don't know why y'all didn't hear that to mean y'all was supposed to hear that to mean that he's the starter. If he's going to get a
them.
bunch of reps with the ones, they're not going to just give him a bunch of reps with the ones and then all of a sudden give Fernando a bunch of reps with the ones like 2 weeks into the preseason. Like it's not going to happen. Like no, what's got to happen is Kirk Cousins had to hit that geriatric wall or get injured. Knock on wood, if you're with me, because we don't want that to happen. But it's essentially his job to lose, and it's always been that. It's always
Yep,
been his job to lose.
yep, I agree,
So
100%. And
so
I'm a Raider
let's
though.
look. Yeah, so let's get off of that. Last stop at the bar. Let's see. Thank you, D Menace, for dropping the link for my channel. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Jimenez,
sir.
for coming through.
Thank you,
Rest of
sir.
y'all too. We the people. Good to see you. It's been a minute.
Yes,
Since
sir.
I've been going live. Sorry, it's been about a year since I've been going live, but I'm gonna get back into the swing of things a few times a week.
Hmm.
Can't
So
wait to
y'all
see.
hit that bell button because I'll be going live a lot on his channel too. But you can tell my channel get fixed because I was doing the Max Crosby in the Raiders verse, and I was named affectionately the Max Crosby of the Raiders YouTube by yours truly, Fizzle. So essentially, I'm being punished right now by the algorithm. So I have to go live maybe like once a week or twice a week. I really want to do the game today, but I have to save my live token for tomorrow because tomorrow we're doing the Fight or Flight Club. So hopefully y'all can pull up to the Fight or Flight Club. It will be on both of these channels, regardless. So you guys make sure you hit the bell notification so you can see that. So,
Mm-hmm.
any last words, conductor?
No, I'm a Raider though.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming in, hacking into the show. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the loyalty. Y'all already know it's one nation. It's the Raider Nation all day, every day. Because I'm a Raider. I'm a Raider. He a Raider.
I'm
Whether
a
they
Raider.
be from the Bay to LA, Las Vegas. I'm a Raider dog.
I'm a Raider dog.
If you're a Niner fan, what it do? Marshawn Lynch said, "F you." I'm a Raider.